A big hello and good evening to panelists and attendees of this webinar. I am Ashok Bist from Saltwater Studio. I will be asking questions on behalf of designers and fabricator fraternity. I know today's topic may bring up a number of questions from you, and I want to let you know that I will address as many as I can in the time we have today. This very session is organized by Association of Stand Designers and Constructors, also known as ASDAC, to discuss challenges faced by our fraternity and a larger situational challenge, the COVID and subsequent lockdown, which has put our businesses on hold. And to discuss this, we have amongst us our panelists, Mr. Bibas Biswas from Embroise, who is also president of ASDAC and representing ASDAC as a core advisory member of MICE Alliance. Mr. Niloy Devnath from First Train Exhibit, Mr. Kailash Madhani from Oren, Mr. Joshi Cherian from Innovage, Mr. Suketu Dasadia from MK Design, Mr. Jaspal Kukreza from Strides, Mr. Dhawal Patel from Fresh Lime India, and Mr. Palwekar from Palwekar Design and Decor, and Mr. Rajesh Batul from Friends Media. Warm welcome to you all. I will start by saying we as designers and fabricators are an important stakeholder of exhibition lifecycle, but we face a lot of challenges from other stakeholders like organizers, clients, and venues. It has been long over pending, but this is the time, and it is really high time to decide how we want to move ahead. Can we change the way we work when it all starts? And can we take steps and make it a better industry at par or better than international standards? We will be discussing this, the current phase of business, and much more with our panelists, and then we will open floor for question and answers. On that note, and to talk about our industry challenges, I will now ask Mr. Kailash from Oren to put forward his views on challenges faced by our fraternity from organizer side. Mr. Kailash, over to you.
Yeah, good evening, everyone. First of all, let me thank all the committee members of SDAC, okay, who in spite of the hardships what everyone is facing right now is taking out time and thinking about the industry right now and making this webinar happen. So first of all, a great thanks to them. Now, before addressing, I have been given a very daunting task of, addressing, maybe I'll be a villain of the organizer, something of that sort by addressing, but I would like to be very straight and, which I don't want to hide behind the bush while addressing all the problems what we face from the organizers. So I have, bottled down all the problems which we face into three different issues. Now, the first issue I would like to say, first I will speak only about the issues. I have got certain solutions. I have got a roadmap to a solution for that, which I will speak in the last. And I'll try to be as brief as possible. Now, the first issue. In the last 15 years, of my experience in the industry, I have felt, do the organizers really acknowledge our existence? We understand that we might be, I am not saying we are, but we might be the bottom of the industry chain. But that does not mean, but still we are a very important aspect. So two things, do they acknowledge our existence? If you ask me, I don't think so. Do they even think about us when they plan about the organizers, or when they plan about the exhibition? Do they take us into consideration, or they think about us while they are in spite of we being one of the important part of the whole event? I don't think so, no. Yani they don't think, "Arey, मैं 100 meter का stall बेच रहा हूँ, so I should give them so much, 100 meters. The constructor should be able to, we have to take care of them also, that they have to complete the work in 2 days and 3 days. They never think about all that. For them, we are the least of concern. Okay, this is the first issue. Now, the second issue I will move to is the treatment of us, our site supervisors and our laborers on site by the organizers. I am not saying they have an intention of doing it, but they have empowered certain people on the ground level. I have identified two issues in them: the way they communicate with us, which is very insulting, and second and the most important, how they treat our laborers. I personally sometimes feel they are treating our laborers, they are not even consider them human. And in the midst of all this, the biggest challenge what I feel we face is a sanitation facility, particularly if I give an example of Bombay Exhibition Center. Sanitation facilities, all the complete sanitation facilities shut during the construction period. I don't know why. To be very honest with you, even my wife, she's a part of my business and she's also on site. For them also, forget about us and the laborers, as even for the female who are a part of the construction team, for them also there is no sanitation. They don't even open up the bathrooms. We just have to go to the organizer's office, request them कि भाई आपके जो वहां जाने दो. If they feel कि हाँ हमारा face अच्छा है, दिखने में अच्छे लग रहे हैं, तो जाने देते हैं कभी कभी. Maybe out of 10 times, 8 times. So I think this is a direct, it's. I would rather put it as it's an inhuman behavior, or आप ऐसे भी बोल सकते हो, it's a breach of human right violation, or however you want to put it. So this is the second issue. Now the third issue, what I feel particular, there are venue issues also, but the other panel is going to speak about it, so I'm not because he is more acquainted and more he has got more details about it rather than me, so I'm not the right person for it. Then the third and the most important issue is, which everybody cribs, complains, but still we have to adhere to it, is the security deposit. I personally have a feeling, rather than making them understand कि ये security deposit आपको return कर देनी चाहिए, ये कर देनी चाहिए, no, that is not the right approach. I personally have a feeling that we don't have any contractual obligation in the first place to pay the security deposit. I would give a example कि आपके घर पे interior हो रहा है, like in my society, I have to pay 20,000 rupees as a security deposit to the managing committee, they have never approached directly to our contractors कि मेरे घर पे जो कारपेंटर काम कर रहा है, first of all my society does not even talk to them. Second, they have never I have also never talked to my carpenter कि भाई ये तुम काम कर रहे हो तो 20,000 आप भरो उधर. Why? The same applies over here. We are not contractually obligated to pay any kind of security deposit, and that is where our point and the communication should start with. Rather than going into the details, हम लोग देंगे, आप return दे दो, security deposit कम करो. We have to challenge it on a very fundamental ground that this is wrong. Like for example, recently there was an exhibition in January about Elek Rama. Elek Rama did a perfect thing. Elek Rama mein complete security deposit was taken from the exhibitor, and during 6 months or 1 year when they booked the stall, it was a part of their in the guidelines to the exhibitors. They didn't even bother to ask us. Okay, and when we reached, in case our exhibitor have not paid, they asked us, ab exhibitor ko bolo, but they didn't even ask कि आप DD लाए हो नहीं लाए हो, nothing. But this is the way even international, even in Germany where we do, they actually, आपकी अगर booth's raw space cost is 10,000 euro, they charge 12,000 euro from the exhibitor itself in advance. Just 2,000 as a security, or 2,000 euros as a security, because my clients have conveyed it to me. Because in case our vendor doesn't clear the debris, they will deduct that money. They never talk to us directly. So these are the three issues. Now, again, that since time is pressing, I'll directly jump to a roadmap or a solution which I have in mind. Right now we are, in fact, we are in very good position that we have an association in place. We have to acknowledge that association is a great way to communicate anything, because if I personally or on any individual level, if personally anyone goes and fights with the organizer, एक तो सुनवाई नहीं होगी. Second, organizer may have a bad attitude towards, they may even blacklist you to a certain extent. And everybody knows it might be empaneled with the organizer at one point of time in certain exhibitions, and maybe their sales staff is giving leads. It's a reality. It's a fact of the industry, and we cannot hide away from it. So how do we fight? Okay, we can collectively fight only as an association, तो किसी के individual पे नहीं आएगा. Now, how the association should do it, I can only suggest. One is to communication. Our communication, we can have one level of communication, then the second time-bound communication, maybe spread it over 5 months, 6 months. But to be very honest, communication, how it effective communication will be only maybe through a mode of email, letter, or maybe visit the organizer office collectively, 7 to 8 committee members as an association, and convey the problems what we face. उसकी सुनवाई होगी नहीं होगी, आई रियली डोंट नो. द सेकंड ऑप्शन व्हाट वी कैन हैव, since we are an association right now, so we can always hire a lawyer who is on a retainership base. Then if the three level of our communications are not heard या सुनवाई नहीं हो रही है, then we can use the lawyer's services and take it forward. I know it's a very long fight, but it's not an impossible fight, because technically as far as the security deposits and the labor problems are concerned, and the labor problems, we are on the right side of the, we are on the right side of the law. आप inhuman behavior का law डाल दो या कुछ भी डालो, या contractual obligation का law use कर लो, any law we use. I am not a law, I don't have a law background, but law is basically logics. Law is basically a logic. Okay, so I am too sure we are on the right side of the law. So this is the way I think we can take it forward collectively. So individually, any one company or one person cannot become bad also, and collectively, and everything has to be done in a very nice way. I'm not saying go and fight or anything, but a procedural way, say, we can definitely move ahead in this direction for all the three issues which I have highlighted. So I think I would like to, since that I hope I have not shoot up the time by more than 5 minutes.
That was really perfect, Kailash ji, and those are really the points which pain each one of us in an individual way. And we being in the industry and all competitors, we don't discuss this. We discuss this in our own way, but we fear that we might be blacklisted from the organizers.
Exactly.
So those are really good points. As an association should also take note of some suggestions you have made, and I'm sure, and everyone in the panel, in the attendees also, they must be relating it to it very well.
Sure.
That was really good. Moving on to other very important point, I would request Mr. Dhaval Patel to highlight some challenges we face on venues, and also your views on how, given the current situation, what protocol and facilities should be there. Mr. Dhaval, it is on to you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Ashok. And I would like to thank Association for inviting on the very good panel as well as the discussion for our industry. I am going to share in my presentation on these challenges which we face over the value. So we actually stand constructors and fabricators are actually an important part of the ecosystem where we are until now, as my earlier panelist said, we treat as a last man in the team. Constructors, as I have written, the last man in the team. Why fabricator and constructor are very important, being a last man, but it is very important because we guys are the people who actually execute the design from paper to the reality on the venue. जो ऑफिस में दिखाया जाता है, लोगों को व्हाट्सएप पे भेजा जाता है, उसको हम सही में एग्जीक्यूट करते हैं. Because we follow all the rules and regulation imposed by venue owner, organizers as well as exhibitors. You know, venue owners are sometimes say हमने तो वेन्यू दे दिया है और हमारा अब इसके सिवा और कोई लेना देना नहीं है. वेन्यू भले ही उनका जैसा भी हो, लेकिन वो कहते हैं कि अब हमारे पास कुछ नहीं है, हमने वेन्यू ऑर्गेनाइजर्स को दिया है और आपको जैसे वो जैसे कहेंगे वैसे हमको फॉलो करना है. सो इट इज इम्पोर्टेंट टू टेक ऑल टुगेदर एज अ टीम. अकेला वेन्यू का भी कोई काम नहीं है, हमें सबके साथ कम्युनिकेशन करना पड़ेगा, हमें सबके साथ मिलके आगे बढ़ना पड़ेगा, हमें एग्जीबिटर को भी इसी लाइन में रखना पड़ेगा, हमारे क्लाइंट्स को भी इसमें इन्वॉल्व करना पड़ेगा. So together as a team we can impact the roadblocks which are, there are two kind of roadblocks in current scenario. One is pre-COVID and one is post-COVID. Now pre-COVID these are the things which we have faced and which are definitely we are going to face. It is time to construction जिसमें हमें टाइम बहुत कम दिया जाता है या फिर irrelevant टाइम दिया जाता है. कम दिए जाने का मतलब ऐसा है, हमको इमेजिनेबल टास्क दिए जाते हैं कि आप, हमारे पास सिर्फ दो दिन है, आपको 400-500 स्टॉल खड़े कर देने हैं, लाइक दैट. हमारे जैसे काफी लोग एक साथ वही ग्राउंड पे काम करते हैं. इट्स लाइक अ वॉर. इट्स बिकम लाइक कि हमको इतना दिन दिया गया है और उतने में हमको जीत के जाना है. एंट्री एंड एग्जिट ऑफ द मटेरियल इज द बिगेस्ट चैलेंज वी एवर फेस्ड इन द all the venues, whether it is a hotel, whether it is a convention center, or whether it is some prefabricated German dome or so. Because what is happened, it is not organized anytime. It is said 10 o'clock in particular date in the morning or in the evening or late evening, 2 o'clock in the morning. Those kind of times is given to us, and at that time also when we reach to the venue, or you can say we reach to the site and we reach for the war, and nothing is prepared. Everybody say kahan aaye ho, kahan jana hai, kaise karna hai. Those people who are other players of the industry, like exhibitors, organizers, even venue is not prepared for the exhibition itself. Basic utilities of the venue, which is actually a key part, which was actually addressed by earlier speaker about the sanitization at the venue. Now that is again, I have also written health and safety in post-COVID area. That will be a more important aspect after the opening of the exhibition industry. And technological aid, कुछ कुछ वेन्यूज में ऐसा होता है जहाँ पे हमको बनाना है स्टॉल, समझ लीजिए कुछ 40 फीट ऊंचा, और उनकी मशीनरीज जो आने वाली है वो लास्ट मोमेंट पे आती है या तो पहले आ जाती है, वो सारी जिम्मेदारी हमारे ऊपर आ जाती है। जब तब हमारे पास टेक्नोलॉजिकल एड्स नहीं होते हैं, मशीनरी मूवमेंट्स, इक्विपमेंट्स नहीं होते, बिकॉज वी वर नॉट इन्फॉर्म। So this kind of facilities should be present at the venue, which actually organizing more exhibitions than us. उनके लिए ऐसा है, आज एक है, कल दूसरा है, उसके बाद तीसरा है, सेम काइंड ऑफ एग्जीबिशंस उनके लिए रिपीट होने वाले हैं। तो वो सब टेक्नोलॉजिकल एड्स वेन्यू पे होने चाहिए। जैसे जैसे हम लोग ये सब पॉइंट्स जो है वो हम लोग इकट्ठा होंगे, हम लोग एक साथ होंगे, तो ये हम ऑर्गेनाइजर से शेयर कर सकते हैं, वेन्यू ओनर्स से भी शेयर कर सकते हैं। वी पुट अवर सेल्फ इन मोर स्टेक इनटू द होल इकोसिस्टम। जो हम नीचे हैं उसको हम हमारी पोजीशन को ये सब पॉइंट्स को एड्रेस करके एक स्टेप ऊपर लेके जा सकते हैं। पोस्ट कोविड में मैं ये इतना कहूंगा कि फिजिकल डिस्टेंस, इंक्रीज हेल्थ एंड सेफ्टी, इंप्लीमेंटेशन ऑफ क्राउड कंट्रोल, encourage and enforcement. The last point is again up to the association and up to the unity of the group, which actually acknowledged by the association or the group as a whole. Physical distancing, lesser number of labor we can take to the venue, simple designs. This is again one more important point. Design, if design is simple, we will be in more ease of work at workshop, जहां पे हम ज्यादा से ज्यादा काम, अगर डिजाइन सिंपल होंगे, लेबर्स कम लगेंगे वेन्यू पे, तो हम वर्कशॉप पे ही काम ज्यादा करके आएंगे। दैट विल बी मोर इम्पोर्टेंट। least delivery on the venue. This is something which is actually we are firefighting with the exhibitors as well as venue owners कि हमारे लिए गेट खुला रखिए, हमको आने दीजिए। ये सब चीजें हमको अवॉइड करनी पड़ेगी, जिससे फिजिकल डिस्टेंस कम होगा। फिक्स टाइमिंग फॉर द एंड, टाइमिंग फॉर द विजिट बाय द क्लाइंट।
Sorry, Dhaval ji, can you move the slides?
The before one or the after one?
No, we couldn't see the slide movement, so.
Oh, okay. Is it now?
No, we do not see. But anyways, continue. I mean, we can hear you.
Yeah, we are. I'm sharing the stop share.
Yeah.
So physical distancing will be less. Why implementing this kind of measures, right? Health and safety issues will be there, and that will become a part of our industry afterwards, the post-COVID. What will happen is anybody on the shift, anybody on the ground will have a temperature check twice in a day. That will be a required, and that will be given in guideline by the industry itself. The last exhibitions happened in China, which was actually auto part auxiliary and auto part industrial exhibition. There, those people have worked in shift. Those people have provided demarcation of the area to land our material on the ground. मतलब स्टॉल का एरिया तो हमको दिया हुआ है, उसके साथ हमारा मटेरियल ग्राउंड करने के लिए एक अलग से एरिया स्टॉल के बाहर दिया गया है। उसके बाहर हम हमारा स्टॉफ नहीं रख सकते, हमारे एरिया में कोई और स्टॉल वाला स्टॉफ नहीं रख सकता। तो दिस काइंड ऑफ मेजर्स वी कैन implement post COVID with an associative ground, so it will be improvised overall situation. Communication and enforcement of this, all the encouragement is a more important thing. What we used to generally do is we used to present our designs to the client, and sale is closed over there. But I think now day will come where we have to be take care of organizers also. We have to have learn the rules and regulations that are provided by organizers quite earlier, before the time. Otherwise, 7 days, 8 days before the time, we book the stalls and we don't know how to go ahead. So this kind of initiative, which will actually encourage the overall industrial uplifting, which will actually take us to the next level of the industry. So that's it from my side, and thank you very much for all of the audience to listen me very carefully. Thank you very much.
Dhaval ji, yeah, these are the points, and इसमें एक important बात ये है कि the venue owners cannot just shut away their responsibility just by creating venue. They have to be in line with the whole idea of why the exhibition is being organized and who all are taking part there.
Right, absolutely. That is why those people are not treating us as a stakeholders. They say हमने organizer को दे दिया, वो कहेंगे वैसे करेंगे. It should not be like that. We are equally important party of the whole ecosystem.
Right. So exactly, this is what we face, and this is how post-COVID, as you mentioned, the system should be. This is a new thing. We all are learning, but yeah, a system is yet to be seen how post-COVID exhibition formats will be. But moving on to the third stakeholder, which is a very important stakeholder, that is exhibitor, the customers that we deal with or we do our sales pitch to. There are challenges from customers as well. So I would now request Mr. Rajesh Batul of Friends Media to put his thoughts on that.
Thank you, Ashok. Good evening to all panelists and attendees. First of all, this is a very nice opportunity and initiative taken by SDEC team. No one is earlier it was happened like this. Stand designers and fabricators. This is the first time I think it's happening. So thanks for that. My topic is challenges faced from clients. I think सब जन इसका challenges face कर रहे हैं market में customer से. तो first मैंने client का 4 में break किया है. First is the design, second is the budget, third is the on-site changes, fourth is the payment. तो first I'm going to design. Designs में अभी आज की तारीख में क्या problems we are facing? That is multiple design getting from client. That is our fraternity are giving multiple designs. So first the reason why he getting the multiple designs. So therefore I learn कि refuse this bulk ML. The customer nowadays बहुत smart हो गए हैं. तो उन्होंने एक बल्क मेल एक फॉर्मेट बना दिया है. बल्क मेल बना के वो शूट करता है मल्टीपल लोगों को, जिससे बाकी लोग आराम से उस पे अपना रिस्पांस देना चालू किया है. तो मैं आपको एडवाइस करूंगा कि आप बल्क मेल पे आप रिस्पांस ना कीजिए. सेकंड, आपको रेडीमेड एक आजकल तारीख में रेडीमेड शीट मिलने लगा है कि उसमें आपको इतना चेयर लगेगा, मेरे को इतना टीवी चाहिए. ऐसे वाले बल्क ईमेल पे आप रिस्पॉन्स ना कीजिएगा. रेडीमेड रिक्वायरमेंट शीट आता है तो उसको अवॉइड कीजिए, क्योंकि वो रेडीमेड शीट से ही आइडिया आ जाता है कि वो क्लाइंट ने किसी से ये आइडिया लिया हुआ है और वो आइडिया वो दूसरे को थ्रो करके मल्टीपल ईमेल्स डाल के वो डिजाइन मल्टीपल चाहता है. मैंने तो कई देखा कि एक एक क्लाइंट को 3 से 40 डिजाइन मिल रहा है, जो एक बहुत बड़ा चैलेंजेस है. वो कंपटीशन पैदा भी कर रहा है. तो आई शुड अर्ज दैट कि रिफ्यूज दैट थिंग्स. सेकेंड थिंग, ट्राई टू इन डिजाइंस फर्स्ट यू ट्राई टू 1-to-1 मीटिंग. आप 1-to-1 मीटिंग करेंगे तो उसमें आप सॉर्ट आउट कर सकते हो इसका सीरियसनेस, वो कितना सीरियस है, क्लाइंट कितना चाहता है कि हमसे जुड़ना कितना चाहता है, वो आपको मालूम पड़ेगा. उसका रिक्वायरमेंट क्या है उससे मालूम पड़ेगा. डिजाइन अगर और आज की तारीख में बहुत सारा दिक्कतें आ रही हैं डिजाइन के लेके. डिजाइन आज की तारीख में एक वेंडर से आई थिंक एजेंसी से एक एजेंसी का डिजाइन उसने फाइनल किया है और वो मल्टीपल लोगों को डिजाइन रेडी डिजाइन भेज रहा है. तो मैं चाहता हूं कि वो भी आप अवॉइड कीजिए. रेडी डिजाइन एक किसी का मेहनत किया हुआ चीज है, उसको आप रिफ्यूज कीजिए काम करने के लिए. फिर भी अगर वो चाहता है कि वो डिजाइन आप काम करें तो मैं आपको अर्ज करूंगा कि आप लोग उसके लिए एनओसी मांगिए. जिसने भी ये डिजाइन किया है वो डिजाइनर से आपने उसका एनओसी लेना आप प्रैक्टिस चालू कीजिए और इस एक लेटर उनसे लीजिए. क्लाइंट से आप लेटर लिख लीजिए, ये अगर मैं बनाऊंगा तो इसका लिए जिम्मेदार आप होगे, कुछ भी ऑन साइड में इश्यू आएगा तो. क्योंकि एसोसिएशन आल्सो वेरी स्ट्रिक्ट टू दिस कि हम लोग उस पर एक्शन लेने वाले हैं. एक का डिजाइन दूसरा कोई भी अगर यूज करेगा विदाउट एनी परमिशन, तो एसोसिएशन वी आर ट्राइंग टू guideline, making the guideline on that, so we'll definitely do the action on that. थर्डली मैं चाहता हूं कि इस डिजाइन जो फ्री है, आई थिंक अपने इंडस्ट्री में ये डिजाइन फ्री हो रहा है. बाकी अगर मैं कंपेयर करूंगा तो एक आपने देखा होगा आर्किटेक्ट इंडस्ट्री, वो लोग भी कुछ बिल्डिंग का डिजाइन बनाते हैं, इंटीरियर डिजाइनर वो लोग भी एक डिजाइन बनाते हैं, मगर वो लोग एडवांस या टोकन मनी या डिजाइन चार्ज वो लोग चालू करते हैं. तो मैं अपने वो फैटर्निटी जितने अपने ग्रुप है स्टैंड बिल्डर्स डिजाइनर्स को, मैं उनको भी बोलूंगा एक नॉमिनल रेट अपन चार्ज करना स्टार्ट कीजिए. इसमें एसोसिएशन भी कुछ गाइडलाइंस करे तो मैं वो हेल्पफुल रहेगा. सेकंड मेरा टॉपिक है बजट का. बजट का भी एक बड़ा इश्यू है. बजट में है कि प्राइस वार, आज की तारीख में प्राइस इतना अपने फाइटिंग हो रहा है कि लो बजट पे हो रहा है. क्लाइंट भी आज डिमांड करने लगा कि मेरे को लो बजट है, नहीं एक दे रहा है दूसरा रेडी है. तो ये किस लिए हो रहा है? ड्यू टू द अनहेल्दी कॉम्पिटिशन बिटवीन अस. अपने फैटर्निटी में अपन एक अनहेल्दी कॉम्पिटिशन कर रहे हैं. सेकेंडली दिस सेक्टर, आई एम रियली अपसेट ऑन दैट, दिस सेक्टर इज अनऑर्गेनाइज्ड सेक्टर. अपनी इंडस्ट्री एक ऑर्गेनाइज नहीं है, इसका मुझे बहुत बड़ा दुख है. सेकेंडली आज की तारीख में कोई भी अपना न्यू कमर्स आ रहा है वो एजेंसी चालू कर रहा है. दिस इज ऑल्सो, मतलब ये अभी कुछ रॉकेट साइंस तो नहीं है, इसलिए कोई भी आ रहा है तो उसके लिए भी गाइडलाइंस होना चाहिए. अगर नया काम आज की तारीख में कारपेंटर भी कुछ डाल रहा है तो उसका एक्सपेंसेस अलग है, एजेंसीज का एक्सपेंसेस अलग है, तो प्राइस डिफरेंस आएगा. अगर कारपेंटर अगर डायरेक्ट क्लाइंट को अप्रोच करने लगा है तो उसको ये नहीं मालूम है कि उधर ऑन साइड में क्या क्या दिक्कतें आती है. तो ये एक बोलते कुछ ना कुछ इसका भी एक गाइडलाइंस मैं चाहता हूँ एसोसिएशन एक बनाए और वो शेयर कीजिएगा. और बजट और प्राइस वार के लिए आपको और एक मैं आपको एक स्पेशली एक टूल बताना चाहता हूँ कि अगर आपको इससे प्राइस वार से बाहर निकलना है तो आपको इस पे एक बोलते ना एक बैकग्राउंड में आपको तैयार करना पड़ेगा कि कौन से इंडस्ट्री में क्या बजट होता है. आप भी अगर एक्सेप्ट करेंगे कि ज्वेलरी का इंडस्ट्री का आप स्टॉल बनाएंगे तो आपको ज्वेलरी का इंडस्ट्री का कार्ड रेट अलग रहता है, इवन दो फार्मा कंपनी का अलग है, गारमेंट कंपनी का अलग है. ये आपको मालूम ही रहेगा रेट कितना क्या रहेगा क्या नहीं है. उसके अलावा आप एक अपना एक एक्सेल बनाइए. एक गारमेंट इंडस्ट्री का एक स्टॉल आप लेंगे तो उसका कितना आप एक्सपेंसेस पड़ेंगे, प्लस इंक्लूडिंग एजेंसी का कमीशन उसमें ऐड करके एक बेस रेट आप तय कीजिए. वो बेस रेट के नीचे कोई भी डिमांड करता है सीधा रिफ्यूज कीजिए. क्लाइंट कहीं नहीं जाएगा, क्लाइंट इधर ही रहेगा, अपने पास ही आएगा. ये मैं आपसे अर्ज करता हूँ. थर्ड मेरा है ऑन साइट चेंजेस. ऑन साइट चेंजेस ये मेरे ख्याल से क्लाइंट का एक टेंडेंसी हो गया है कि आता है लास्ट मोमेंट पे आता है ऑन साइट में, अरे मेरे को ये करके दे, मेरे को ये करके दे. ये आजकल बहुत होने लगा है. तो मैं चाहूंगा ऑन साइट चेंजेस के लिए आप डायरेक्टली अवॉइड कीजिए ऑन साइट चेंजेस. उसके लिए बड़ा बड़ा टूल है कॉन्ट्रैक्ट कॉपी. Before you are going to take the order, you should sign the contract copy. ये इसका एक हैबिट आप हैबिचुअल हो जाइए. जो भी एग्जिस्टिंग क्लाइंट है, न्यू क्लाइंट है, सबसे आप कॉन्ट्रैक्ट कॉपी साइन करके लीजिएगा. कॉन्ट्रैक्ट कॉपी में क्या रहेगा, एक डिस्क्रिप्शन रहेगा, ये स्टॉल क्या है, फ्लेक्स का स्टॉल है, वॉलपेपर का स्टॉल है, पेंट का स्टॉल है, ये पूरा डिस्क्रिप्शन हाइट लेफ्ट सब शेल्फ कितना आएगा सब आप रहेगा. तो आपको ये ऑन साइट चेंजेस का जो तकलीफ है वो आप अवॉइड कर सकते हो. और एक कॉन्ट्रैक्ट साइन होने का कुछ चेंजेस कम होते हैं. फिर भी समझो अब आपको कुछ आ रहा है ऑन साइट चेंजेस का, तो मैं चाहता हूं कि आप मॉकअप स्टार्ट कीजिए. मॉकअप ये ऐसा है कि आपका आधा हेडेक उधर खत्म कर देगा. क्लाइंट आया, मॉकअप देखा, उधर ही उसको जो भी एडवांस में इधर क्या करना है, कम करना है, ज्यादा करना है, वो उधर कर सकता है. फिर वो ऑन साइट में कुछ नहीं बोलेगा. उसके बाद में आप इसको है ना, और एक प्रैक्टिस इसके लिए अच्छा है कि आप ये ऑर्डर जो भी है, ये इंडस्ट्री में अपना ये भी एक बड़ा तकलीफ है, कस्टमर लास्ट मोमेंट पे ऑर्डर फाइनल करता है. मैं चाहता हूं सबको कि एक रूल्स थंब रूल बना लीजिए कि आप 15 दिन पहले ऑर्डर फाइनल कीजिए. छोटा स्टॉल, बड़ा रहेगा तो उसको ज्यादा दिन लगेगा. 15 दिन मिनिमम आपको ये काम करना जरूरी है. बैकअप द वेयर हाउस में आपको ये बना के दिखाना है. क्लाइंट नहीं आ रहा तो उसको वेयर हाउस में वीडियो कॉलिंग करके दिखा सकते हो. ये सब टूल्स है, ये अपन यूज कर सकते हैं. फिर भी अगर ऑन साइड में और चेंजेस बोलता है, स्ट्रिक्टली आप एक्स्ट्रा चार्ज कीजिए. एक्स्ट्रा चार्ज लेगा तो उसको वो ऑटोमेटिकली वो अवॉइड कर देगा. दिस इज माय टूल्स. लास्ट एंड फोर्थ पॉइंट इज द पेमेंट. Payment also very much important point is here there. Payment I recommend that you should try to take the advance at 70 to 80%. Why I'm asking at 70 to 80%? क्योंकि 70 to 80% अपने को इन एडवांस लगता ही है, अपना लेबर एक्सपेंसेस है, मटेरियल एक्सपेंसेस है, ट्रांसपोर्टेशन है, आप उनको बताइए कि मेरे को इतना एक्सपेंसेस मेरे को लगता ही है, ये मेरे को देना ही है, बाकी का आप मेरे को बाद में देंगे ड्यूरिंग द एग्जीबिशन। आप एडवांस भी 70-80% ये इन बिटवीन काम होने तक, बिफोर द हैंड ओवरिंग, तो आप उनसे डिमांड कर सकते हैं। ये एक प्रैक्टिस आप चालू कीजिए। फिर भी आपको ये एक्सक्यूजेस आएगा, क्योंकि क्लाइंट बोलते हैं ना हैबिचुअल है, हैबिचुअल ऑफ दैट कि अरे काम हो गया है, तो उसको कुछ ना कुछ एक्सक्यूजेस देके रेट्स कम करना, फिक्स रेट होने के बाद भी रेट कम करता है, ये भी बहुत आजकल उनका टेंडेंसी हो गया है। तो उसके लिए आपको कॉन्ट्रैक्ट कॉपी जो आपने मैंने बताया, वो बहुत सारा इंपॉर्टेंट टूल्स रहेगा वो अवॉइड करने के लिए। बाद में आप अगर चाहते हैं तो क्लाइंट्स जब ओपनिंग होता है, बिग मोस्ट ऑफ द सभी क्लाइंट ओपनिंग के दिन आ जाते हैं, तो उनसे एक फीडबैक फॉर्म भरना आप स्टार्ट कीजिए। फर्स्ट डे ही आप उनसे फीडबैक फॉर्म भर लेंगे, कैसा है उनका पूरा, तो साइन हैप्पीली वो साइन करके देगा, तो एक अपन पेमेंट लेते हैं उनका अपन को इजीली होगा। This is my all 4 point. Thank you all. And friendly note, client, I want to say that कि client एक exhibitor जो होता है वो एक पॉजिटिवली इन्वेस्ट करता है अपना बिजनेस के लिए। एक स्टॉल बुकिंग करके और स्टॉल डिजाइनर को हायर करना, मतलब उसके पॉजिटिव वे से वो करता है, क्योंकि उसको अपना ब्रांडिंग करना है। तो आप एक उनसे भी अपना फ्रेंडली रिलेशन रखिएगा। फ्रेंडली रिलेशन से ये ऑटोमेटिकली जो चैलेंजेस है कस्टमर से, वो अपने फुलफिल होंगे। थैंक यू सर।
Thank you, Rajesh.
Over to Ashok.
Yeah, thank you, Rajesh. So actually, yeah, these are the challenges we used to face individually, and individually in our silos rather. We can't address this individually. We have to be in a body like this. Coming to current and the very situation that we all are facing, the current no exhibition scenario and its impact on us and how we can survive, I would now request Mr. Niloy Devnath of First and Exhibit to guide us from his experience. Mr. Niloy, you are on mute, so if you can unmute. Yeah.
Technologically challenged.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you so much. Thank you, Ashok. Thank you, all the panelists. Thank you, ASDAC, for having me here. I think it's a wonderful initiative, and we will need a lot of something like this going ahead, because as the motto of ASDAC goes, let's unite, let's collaborate, and let's grow. And that is the topic that's been given up to me. And I'm going to talk a little bit about what I think. So I'm going to start with a quote from Lenin. It's an old quote, but then I think it's extremely relevant in today's situation, which says, there are decades where nothing happens, and there are weeks where decades happen. So I think that pretty much sums up the state that we are in these days. Yeah. I mean, last 60 days and so, I mean, we have seen so much of change in everything, you know, from the way we live, the way we work or we don't work, or the kind of work that we do at home. I think phenomenal changes are happening, and we all have to be aware, take cognizance of what's happening, and we need to figure out what's coming up, right? So obviously a lot has been discussed about the current COVID situation. I'm not going to go too much into that. What I will try and do initially is to share a little bit of experience rather than giving advice or opinion. I think that experience sharing would be more beneficial and helpful to our fraternity here. Essentially, the way we look at it, I think there are two scenarios that's playing out now. One is survival, and the second is revival. So right now we are in a survival mode. We have to figure out how we come out of that situation. And then once we come out, how do we not sink? How do we stay afloat? How do we flourish? And how do we again keep doing what we are best at, that is connecting people and making them stand out on the show floor, right? So a little bit on our survival roadmap at First and Exhibit. So obviously when this entire thing struck us in the third week of March, the first thing that we did is we took a decision of working from home, because safety was the most important criteria, which still is. So we shifted everybody home. Second thing that we did is form a COVID task force. This constitutes of seniors from our company and certain people from every department that we have. And this force has been the so-called driving force or the driving team behind every decision that we have taken. So I would actually urge everybody to form a force, even if it's 2 people, it doesn't matter. But then, many minds are better than one. And I'm sure a lot of constructive ideas will come out of it. Now, obviously, since we have all been stuck at home, communication has been challenged. At the same time, I think it is extremely important to keep on communicating with our team because I think these are the people who are very, very vulnerable. The team, without a team, we are nothing, right? I mean, we really cannot do anything on our own. So it is extremely important to keep them motivated, to be aware of their mental well-being, besides, the physical requirements in terms of, salaries and stuff. So please keep communicating with your team. The fourth thing that we actually looked into every line item that we had as far as our costs were concerned. And let me tell you, there is nothing called direct costs anymore. Every cost today is a discretionary cost. It is up to you to decide whether a cost is worth paying or carrying on or not. So look at every item and then try to figure out that in order to keep our head above the water, what is it that you're going to maintain and what is it you're just going to strike off your system. Because let's face the fact, there are zero incomes. We have not made any money in the last couple of months, but the expenses are there. The tap is open. So we need to know how to be able to bear that. We also started doing a lot of cash flows. When I say cash flow, it basically means jot down your income, jot down your expenses, do it on a monthly basis. And depending on the situation that you foresee, I actually saw a question before I started my talk, when will exhibitions open? Nobody knows. Nobody absolutely knows when it's going to open. Even if it's open, what is going to be the state of the mind with the exhibitors? What is the format in which they want to participate? Small stall, big stall, custom stall, how much they're going to pay? Nobody knows. So we have to be aware and we have to model different scenarios saying, okay, opens in 3 months. This is what I have. This is what I can make. Doesn't open in 6 months. Okay, I need to do something else. Does not open for the next 12 months. Okay, how do I survive? So I think that is an extremely important thing, and take some financial help if required. But then please, 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 I urge you, drop your cash flows. This is the most important thing. And based on how the situation is unveiling, take dynamic decisions. That is very, very important. I think it is imperative we look at some kind of a supplemental income generation opportunities. That could be related to something that we are doing, that could be unrelated. But I think it's very important because we cannot just sit behind and say, oh, well, things are opening up in China, Germany is opening, Korea is doing well, things will open up very soon, and I'm going to be back in business. Yes, we can be back in business in the next 3 months, but why not plan for the worst and hope for the best, right? So we are actively exploring how to get some kind of an income in these trying times. So that is our survival strategy, so to say. In terms of our revival roadmap, so we are eternal optimists, right? As human beings, somebody the other day told me, hey, we are like cockroaches, so we have come today from the age of the dinosaurs and we have actually survived every apocalypse that the world is seen. So we will survive this too. And I'm 100% sure we are going to not only survive, but then we are going to flourish. So we have to be ready for those rosy days also. So to be able to do that, we cannot not have a team, because as I mentioned previously, without a team, we cannot do anything. And it's not easy to build a team all of a sudden. I know for a fact, most of us have teams which are extremely old. They've been extremely faithful. They've been extremely loyal. So start talking to them and then try to figure out if you can retain your core team. I think if you are able to retain your core team, that is the team that will actually lead you into the survival phase. And that is what we are also trying to do. At the same time, we are also trying to look at shows which start from October, hoping against hope that things come back on track. So obviously, put a team in terms of remain connected to customers, try to get your database done, try to figure out what is the best way to start talking to customer, maybe not for business, but then just to figure out how he's doing. Is there something else that we can help them with? And I'm sure something will come up out of this conversation. And an extremely important thing, we've seen that the government has come up with stimulus which says that you can take up collateral-free loans. But my friends, a loan is a loan, which essentially means that if you take up the loan, you also have to be able to service the loan, right? Now, it all depends on what kind of income streams will open up after everything becomes okay. So please figure out what kind of a financial situation are you in, and depending on that, take up loans. Don't just take loans because it's freely available. That is my very friendly advice to you. Now, coming back to the core of this topic, which is survive and grow, and how do we kind of nurture and use our mutual strengths that's available around us. So I think the most important thing to look for ideas is start with the team. Many heads are definitely better than one. And I'm sure your team members can all come up with wonderful ideas. We threw this question to our team and they came up with enormous number of ideas. And then when we sat down together, we did the pros and cons. We tried to figure out what is workable, what is not workable, what kind of investments are required, what kind of time frames are required, what kind of competencies do we have in-house. I think these are all questions which you need to start asking within yourself, and I'm sure something will come up. Second, I think professional and industry networks are a great help in times like this. Associations like ASDAC, where we have such illustrious colleagues, I'm sure just reach out to them. Pick up your phone and just talk to them and ask them what somebody else is doing. That is one of the best way to figure out how you can actually tie up together and do something that is worthwhile. And lastly, I think we also have a lot of personal network. Open up your phone book, open up your WhatsApp, and see who else is that you can actually talk to and collaborate with. It is the time not to be alone. It is a time to be united and try to figure out what you can do together. Okay, coming to what kind of ideas. Now, obviously, ideas are plenty. You can do whatever you want to do. But what I feel is at this point of time, starting a whole new business for a very short time frame is probably not the best thing to do. So what I think we should do, in fact, that is the direction that we are also thinking, that is it there something that we can pick up and that also can become for the long term? Can that also become another division in the company, right? So that you can actually continue it and not say that, theek hai, abhi khatam ho gaya hai, abhi COVID is gone, now let me go back to stand building. So try to figure out if that's something that is possible. Something else I think which is very important, as I started off in the beginning, we have to look at fundamental behavioral changes that is occurring at the society and the industry level. We all know we have got so used to working from home. Tell me frankly, do you feel the need of an office? I don't. We have decided to work from home indefinitely. I really don't know when we are going to open office next. Okay, there is less of everything. We are eating less, we are spending less, we are not going out at all. I'm sure people, after things open up, there'll be less of built-up times, there'll be less of exhibitors, there'll be less of visitors. So is there any way that we can actually use this and turn the less into a more? Can we think of something like that? So I think these are all thoughts which I leave with you, which you can start thinking about. And I'm sure something will come out of this. As I also spoke about the team strength, I think the personal and team strength is also very, very important here. So what kind of strengths do you have within you and within your team? So do you have a creative team? Do you have an engineering team? Can you guys teach? Can you consult? Are you good at research? Can you tie up with your suppliers, do something together? I think these are also ways and means where you can actually put your thought to work. Some very interesting examples, you know. So recently I saw my buffet restaurant and my dry cleaner, both of us have started grocery delivery. Now, is there any link? No, but then it's a question of survival. Nobody is going out, so there is no need for dry cleaning. So the company was called Wash Inc. And today I saw they've named themselves Veg Inc. Right? Which is, I think, phenomenal. They're doing it. Yesterday I read Make My Trip is getting into food delivery. Now imagine an online travel agency trying to do food. Now I don't know whether they will be successful or not, but then I'm sure this is not a short-term strategy, right? One fine day, you cannot pivot from an OTA to becoming a food deliverer. I'm sure they must have they must have thought about something and they're getting into this. Why don't you guys also start thinking in similar lines? In Germany, venues and organizers are teaming up to organize joint exhibitions. I think that's also a good idea because you are utilizing each other's resources and finding the end result would be beneficial for both of us. In Turkey, one of my friends who are in the same business, he's now started doing baths and kitchens because he says, I can utilize my own workshop and start building these kinds of fit outs for my other customers. In Poland, my friend says, okay, no problem. Client is not able to travel internationally. You ask them to send your products, ask them to build a small booth. We will pay for the small booth. We will build the booth. We will install the products and we will connect the people who are coming on the show site to your customers sitting in India through video conferencing. So I think if we start thinking, there are enough and more innovative ideas which are workable in these days. So please start thinking, look at something which is going to be long-term, try to focus on mutual strengths. I will leave you guys with some final thoughts. I think association can play a very, very important role in terms of connecting people, in terms of identifying people's strengths, and definitely you should reach out to ACEDAC to figure out and start talking to the members. What is it that you can do together? So obviously the first and foremost step is become a member of the association. Second, the association can also facilitate something like an ideas submission portal. Everybody's doing it. The governments, not only in India, in UK, all over the world. So we are all creative people here. Let's get some creative ideas flowing, some creative juices flowing. Let people submit that ideas and let's figure out whether we can work on those ideas together. Extremely important. You have to work on specific and targeted time frames. It cannot be देखेंगे नया धंधा करना है एक साल में देखेंगे नहीं चला तो बंद कर देंगे. We don't have the luxury to do that. There is no money. Cash flows are not there. There are no income. People are not being able to, pay salaries. So we have to work on specific time frames, decide what that should be, depending on your financial situation, and figure out whether it's doable or not doable. Last but not the least, think long term. This is not something to be thought about in the short term. Think through, think long term, only do something which you think is sustainable going ahead. Thank you very much. And I think it was a pleasure interacting with all you guys. Thank you so much.
Niloy, that was really wonderful. And those were really some interesting points. I just remembered a solution that we all exhibition fabricator have. If an exhibitor has some problem and they ask people from our fraternity, kya ye ho jayega? We say, हाँ हो जाएगा, whatever the problem is. So I think these problems and challenges should be looked in through this perspective, and a lot of solution can come because we have to get some solution out of our brains only, and through the exhibition Josh. Now coming to the COVID and the era of COVID, is it a new normal? And if it is a new normal, how are we supposed to work when it all starts? What kind of rules? And I know this is fairly new for all of us, but can we have some line of thought on this? Jaspalji, I would request you to put a light on this and put your thoughts.
Hi Ashok, thanks for calling me or inviting me to this really a very beautiful panel that we must actually join in. Good evening friends, all the attendees and all the panelists. I have listened 3 words from one of a very eminent person from our exhibition fraternity, that is reimagine, reinvent and reboot. It's the post-COVID situation that I am talking on, like how we have to work now in the post-COVID situation. Though I know there is no answer to it that when this COVID will finish and then again we have to start the engine, that no one knows, but still we have to prepare for it. My insights for the post-COVID situations are, yes, the SOPs that we have to make in every company and every agency. The main thing is to how to handle our labor and how to equip our labor, who actually is the backbone of all our companies who are into stand-up. Giving them the technology upgradation. We all have been to the West world and to Europe and to America, where we have seen people are working so efficiently with the machines. We have to equip our labor to use the machines. We have to deploy less number of people for a stand construction, which earlier we used to have 50 आदमी, 60 आदमी, 100 आदमी. 2 स्टैंड्स के पीछे, 5 स्टैंड्स के पीछे हम लोग इतनी लेबर लेके जाते थे. Now, for the cost cutting, also it's good. So we know that what kind of prices we are going to get. अगर मैं इतनी बात करता हूँ कि मेरे को 5,000 रुपए मीटर से कम में काम नहीं करना है, मेरे को 10,000 रुपए मीटर से कम में काम नहीं करना. बट क्या अब हम लोगों को वो सिचुएशन आएगी कि क्या हम जो रेट्स पे पहले काम कर रहे थे हमको वही रेट्स अब तक मिलेंगे? नहीं. So we have to do the cost cutting, and the best way to cost cutting in the stand construction is to equip our labor and to make our labor technologically advanced. हम लोगों को इस चीज के ऊपर ध्यान रख के अब काम करना है. Yes, social distancing, yes, health hygiene, all that stuff we have to keep in mind. But लेबर को सिखाने पे ही वो चीजें ये सब सीख पाएंगे. अदरवाइज यू नो हाउ द लेबर वर्क्स हियर इन इंडिया. We have to see how we can upgrade our labor, and we have to upgrade ourselves also. Now, any more things that come to your mind, please do let me know, because there is all my panelists earlier already have spoken so much on the things that is pre-COVID and post-COVID. So this is what I was left with to say. Thanks, friends. Thanks very much.
Thank you. Thank you.
Over to Ashok.
Thank you, Yashpal. It looks like now we have to really organize ourselves and focus on becoming lean and efficient team, as per what you have said, and follow the SOPs of organizing aggregation as per the international standards. Give us some thoughts on how association helps in all these challenges.
Thank you, Mr. Ashok, for giving this opportunity. There is a technical glitch which happened. I think life is unpredictable. So is the technology. We have to live with it. The way we say we live with COVID, we have to live with this also.
Perfect.
Okay. So let's talk about the exhibition industry per se. Our exhibition industry has the market is almost 25,000 crores. That is a sizable industry. This industry employs 1.25 lakh people, and there, in terms of exhibition, they are small, medium, large. But if you talk about the medium to big exhibition, there are almost 700 plus exhibition happens in that category. Next, let's move to our stall designers and builders fraternity. Let's talk about our industry. In our industry, there are maybe I'll say 1,000 plus stall builders are there. Most of these people are not totally into exhibition business. They have, this is an add-on business to that. Because of so many people there, the industry is quite fragmented. We have a low entry barrier, which means a lot of people are coming and going. There are a lot of fly-by-night operators also. But again, the problem is that many times there are people who comes, takes orders, but after some time they take advance and disappear from the market, which gives a very bad name to the industry. Now, these are the challenges which we have. Every industry has some problems. We have certain unique thing in the industry which is not done in any other industry. That is, a typical ticket size of an order for our industry is around 2 lakh rupees. For that, close to 100 people approaches the customer. So we have good number of, it can be people who calling on phone, sending mails, and see what happened to the customer. He is flooded with choices. Because of this, the margins takes a beating, the customer takes us for granted, but at the end of the day, still there are people who are growing, the industry is growing, there are people who are making good amount of money. So that is something about our industry. Let's talk about forming the association. When we thought about making the association, there were two things which are going into our mind. First of all, India is one of the biggest economy in the world. We might be hopefully the 6th biggest economy in the world. A country can become so strong provided its industries are of global standards. So we have a pharma. Let's talk about example. We talk about IT, automobile. Many industries are of global standards. But when we talk about the exhibition industry, we are no way close to the global standard. We are quite below the global standards. That is an area of concern. The second thing is that our industry has challenges. Nothing new. Every industry has its challenges. The thing is that how we can resolve the challenges and move forward. For this, we have to, in case we have to solve this, it has to be through a teamwork. When we work as a team, things move faster, much more efficient. And if this teamwork is through a legal entity called association, it is much better. So that's how the association is important. So when we talk about association, if you talk about the entire stall fabrication industry as a whole, we have got number of associations. We have for the exhibition industry per se, we have a association for the service providers. But why then again a new association? We felt that we need to focus on our concern, the stall builder concerns. For this, we need to have a focused approach. That's why we thought we should form an association for our fraternity. So that's how almost, I will say, almost close to more than 1.5 years back, we decided to form an association. And some of the like-minded people, we joined together, let's form it. And we gave a timeline of around 3 months, we'll have an association in place. But believe me, it took more than 1.5 years to get it formed. There were roadblocks. We had to change our lawyer 4 times. We had to run from post to pillar. And we had some problems, but we worked together as a team. There are a lot of people, we decided, हमें करना है. The important thing was, जो भी हो जाए, करना है. And that's what played a very important role to ensure that we work together as a team to make these things happen. So, and because of these efforts, the association legally got formed in November 2019. Now, next question is, what is the objective of the association? The association is to advance the professional growth of the industry. It is to safeguard the interest of our community. If we can't safeguard our interest, who will safeguard it? So when we're talking about safeguarding, we are talking about solving the problems. We have to identify the problem, solve it. Let's make it very clear that association is not to solve all the problems. We have a big laundry list of solving problems. But association will play an important role to reduce the problem. The association will set standards, the work process, health and hygiene factors, ethics. So a lot of things we'll try to form it for our industry. again, what we said earlier, our association is not a driver of this industry. Exhibition industry, the organizer, the driver. We are the important spoke in the wheel of the industry. The baby was born somewhere in, which you said is November 2019. And it took us another 1 month or so to get the bank details, bank account opening, the website, everything. Now, the baby has to deliver. It doesn't happen overnight. It takes time. For the association to deliver, the association has to be strong. It can be strong only we have more number of members. We need to have more number of members so that we can unite together. So suppose we are talking about solving problems of our industry. So if we have more numbers of people, we should be able to have maximum numbers of people as members. We should be able to find out the solution to the problem, have SOPs, and we follow it. If only a small portion of the people fraternity are the members, and we follow them, make some guidelines, if majority don't follow, it becomes a futile exercise. That's what we want. We want most of the people should be part, and then only things will happen. Few things we had planned in the sometime earlier. We had planned for a formal launch of ESTEC. We had planned for a digital marketing and PR work. We were talking about resolving the challenges we are facing, which I said we can be able to solve these challenges only we are big as a team. We are talking about training. Couple of things we have planned for that. Now, because of this COVID, which is the unprecedented thing, something unplanned, things have taken somewhat backseat. I know this is the time of crisis. We have other priorities also. But we, as a team, are very sure these are temporary problems. It is going to get resolved, and the journey which is there, there will be roadblocks, there will be challenges, but journey will continue. We are going to make things happen. So now, advantages of becoming a member. So when we're talking about they have more members, what are the advantages of becoming a member? The first advantage is that we network. We are able to come together as a team. We are able to meet other fellow people of our industry. We are able to help each other. We are able to solve problems. We are able to train people. So there's a lot of advantages which will happen if you become a part of the team. We are talking about research and development. So just to give an example, like LG has a lot of products which goes for the interiors, for the exhibition industry. These people are saying that why don't we come and have a training session where we introduce, showcase our products, which can be helping you to make things at a lower cost. So we can help people to come faster, to have a learning process which is faster. Then there can be cost benefit analysis. When we as a team, when we can negotiate with a lot of suppliers, so we can have a good price, and this price can be exclusively for our people, which we can pass on to the members. We can also we can approach the organizers. We can tell them that you should try to encourage people who are the members of ESTEC. By this, the advantage is that you get people, you have got stall builders who have high credibility. During crisis, when at a venue, they will support each other so that things happen. So there's a peace of mind for the organizers. There's a peace of mind to the customers also. They know that, Baba, we have given the order to a member of ESTEC, things will happen better. So that's a win-win for all of us. So these are the various thought processes here happening, and the journey is there. The baby is born. We have to understand the journey of 1,000 miles start with small steps. We have taken small steps. We have plans. We have started with Mumbai. We have plans to reach out to the entire country. We will have a setup across the regions. We'll have regional offices. So a lot of things are there in due course of time. We know Rome was not built in a day. We are aware of it. We are not looking for overnight results. One thing which gives us the confidence that this industry has been for more than 30 to 40 years. Hopefully, this is the first time as a group we have formed an association, a legal entity for our industry. I think that gives us hope, that gives us confidence. We will make things better. That's all I have to say from my side. Thank you.
Thanks, Viswasji. It is indeed a great step to make our voice heard. But this will only work when whole of our fraternity understands the importance of coming together. So I hope sooner or later it is a realized fact that this is important, and this is how we will be heard in this exhibition scenario or life cycle as a whole. Now, coming to this session, and my questions are to you is all over. Now, there are a lot of questions which we have been put and we have got on mails, which I would like to ask you. These are from various friends of ours in our industry. So I'll start with first, and this question is, when will exhibition start? This question is there in all our mind, and how post-COVID work will be, and will clients be keen to participate? I think this is a very general question, and this is the question in forefront now. So should I ask Mr. Joshi to give your thoughts on that?
Yeah. This is something which Niloy has already answered. When will it start? Nobody can see. Government says, okay, it will start in sometime in September. Organizers say, okay, we will start showing exhibition. But even if they start, how many corporates are prepared to come and exhibit? How many of their employees would come and be at the stand? How many visitors will come? These are big question marks. Actually, nobody is able to say when an exhibition will happen where a custom designed stand will be required. So right now we will all have to wait and watch for this.
We have to all wait and watch, yeah. At the same time, prepare for a good time to come.
That's right. Yeah.
The second question we have is, as all of exhibitions are cancelled for next 5 to 6 months, how will we manage our staff? Should we wait for 2 months after reopen to call staff to work? I think I'll again come back because this was partly answered by Mr. Niloy. I will go back to him again. Mr. Niloy, can you again put some light?
So Ashok, let's be very frank here. We don't have reserves like Hindustan Lever of couple of lakh crores, right? I mean, if we had that, we wouldn't be here in this forum, I'm very sure. Yeah, so I guess it's a no-brainer. It's really a no-brainer. If you don't have money, you cannot pay, right? I mean, where do you get money to pay staff? You cannot take on debt to pay staff where there is no work. So I think the best way to do the way we did, we have a frank conversation with your people. I'm sure people are intelligent enough to understand what the situation is. So talk to them and look at right sizing. So when I say right sizing, it basically means retain core staff, request people to take a voluntary pay cut, ask some people to go on leave without pay, and as soon as you think things are going to come back on track, get everybody back. I think that's the only way to do this. And to give you a guideline, I mentioned do up a cash flow. Without a cash flow, you're shooting in the dark. So I think that is what you should do, what everybody should do.
Yeah, pretty much.
That's what we did.
Yeah, and pretty much this is what the practical things to do as of now. And yes, as you said, we are not Hindustan Lever. We have to take calls which are practical in nature. Now there is a question, and this is a major part of our labor force migrated to their native places, and few decided not to come back. How will we be able to manage fabrication without them? How can we manage price war post-COVID? And this is a recent update in our industry. Yeah, people are traveling to their native, and I am not sure practically if there is work they would come back. But Mr. Milind, can you take this question? How will we be able to manage fabrication without them?
Labor, Ashok. we are not only facing the labor problem, and all the industries are facing the labor problem. Most of the laborers already migrated to their native. Some will come, some will not. So definitely we also face shortage of labor. But at the same time, the workload will be less. Workload also will be less. So what we can do, we can share our labor. If I have few laborers who are sitting ideal, I can share that labor with fraternity people. So that will be the one of the solution. What SDAC will do, what SDAC will play the role in this. So the some programs like a workshop for available laborers. How to build the stall stand with a minimum labor. Now we are using 10 laborers, 15 laborers. It can be done in 5 laborers. So that can be possible. So training program can be done in a few coming months. That will be announced shortly. And the price war. Price war will be always there in this situation. We have to cut our overheads, labor cost, as well as material cost. We can save our wastage. We can save our labor costs, so the price will go down. We can save that. That will be our earning. So price will be there. What will be there? So it's depend on how person to person can tackle. So
yeah, so basically you are saying that we will have to share resources, take advantage of the common resources, and get benefit out of the whole
exactly.
networking.
I like to add, we can use the tools, good kind of tools, equipments, to save the time frame.
Of course, yes.
We can fabricate the entire stall at our workshop.
Yeah.
With the minimum labors. For that we need some time also. Overnight it will not possible.
Yes.
But that can be possible.
That can be possible. Yeah, investment is required, and probably again association comes into picture here. But some solution can be made of it. Okay, there is another question, and this has been answered previously. But if some more lights can be put on this, how association can be helpful if a design gets copied and executed by another fabricator? Joshi ji, can you say something on this?
Basically, if you look at it, you cannot blame the customer for it. You have to first blame our own fraternity for it. Because we flood the customer with designs, then the customer goes with design with anyway on another colleague of ours or another friend of ours, and he agrees to do it. So we have to address this within our fraternity. Now, once majority of our people come in as a member of ASDAC, then we can establish a code of conduct. And maybe then we can initiate some legal this thing. First of all, right now what we should do is, when you have a BCC inquiry or when you have a bulk inquiry from a client, say refuse to quote. Say I can only quote or I can only make a design once I meet face to face, or I have a direct chat with the decision making authority. So that I need more inputs, my designer needs more input. That's one of the ways to get some feel of the client, how they are going to do. The others should refuse to do it, basically. So they will not spend so much time discussing with so many of the people. So instead of getting 50 designs, they may end up getting only 10 designs. Okay, that is better for us. It is our design people time is precious. So we are wasting it actually. Presenting one stand with 40 designs or 50 designs. Then when you ask for a brief, you have to send your own paper to them. Ask them to put the details what you want with an undertaking below saying that if I submit a design, you will not use it without my consent. Important. So ask them to send that back to you in mail. So there is a legal binding somewhere there. Or sign it and send it, scan it and send it, whatever you want. But get it on your own format, which has an undertaking below, which says, yes, you will not use my design. Then the third thing is, in between our fraternity, if the client forwards your design to me or my design to you, we should straight away say, we do not quote for the design unless there is an NOC in place. Now, if you still insist, I will give you a quote, but if there is a problem on site, I will be on the side of my friend and not you. Because we are together as a family. Our fraternity remains as a family. We will help each other. If there is a protect, so you as a client, you are from outside the fraternity. So when you say the family will stay together, the outsider will be treated as an outsider there. So I will be on their side, putting my hands up that I will not do this. Then if you say, once you start getting in more people into the, and you have almost more than 60% of the people or 60% of our fraternity into the association, then we can put a design charge, or you have a basic nominal cost for the design.
Exactly.
So once you put that cost, as a corporate, they will not be able to go to 50 people. They will have to shortlist 3 or 4 companies based on the previous work. That is how everyone assesses a designer or a construction company. Even if you go to an interior designer, you will take reference from 4 people and give them the job by paying a fee. He doesn't give you a free design. Similarly, once you put that kind of a fees in place, they will go with the previous experience, previous quality of execution, all that will come into picture. So then finally, unless all of us follow the code of conduct,
yes,
it is not going to work.
That's the key here. Unless all of us follow the code of conduct.
Yes. All of us will have to follow the same code of conduct.
Yes, everyone has to come on the fold. Else there would be a black sheep somewhere who is.
If I say no to quote for your design, you should be able to say, I won't quote for your design.
Exactly.
So that is required. So that is how we can address this issue.
Perfect.
Then add to one more, once you have, little more flexibility, we can have a legal person in place as for the association, and then he will put it across to the client wherever it is required.
Correct.
We can have a common lawyer for everybody.
I'm sure everyone is relating to it. And I'm sure, yes.
I think these are the ways we can address that.
Perfect. Thank you, Joshi sir. Another question is there. I think it has been answered partly, but let me answer it again through the panelist. The question is, can ASDEC help stand design and fabric companies to collaborate by sharing resources? Suketu, can you answer this?
Hi, good evening, everyone. First of all, I would like to thank all my panelists. Am I audible?
Yes, yeah.
I would like to thank all my panelists and especially our president, sir, for giving such a beautiful understanding of the association. During this pandemic, I have been watching quite a few inspirational movies. So I just came across a beautiful line which I would like to share to all my friends. that आपत्ति से ही आविष्कार का जन्म होता है. आपत्ति से ही आविष्कार का जन्म होता है. So yes, of course, coming back to the question, ESDAC will assist, will provide skilled key set information of our members on a database or our website, so that all the members can mutually collaborate for sharing their resources. That means that, for example, you have laid off your designers just to cut down the cost, and you're getting some work. So you can come to the association wherein we can share the database. You can get your designs done through a different agency, of course, by not taking the client, which the association will take care for sure. And same way, if someone is having a fabrication unit and there's a scarcity of laborers, they can always collaborate with other fabrication agency who has laborers but no work. So in both ways, both the parties are beneficial. Work happens within the family, inside the family. This is what I personally feel. Over to you, Ashok ji. Thank you.
That was some important points. And again, it is all about coming together and helping each other. There is another question. I think this also has been partly answered by Mr. Dhaval, but I'll again put it to him. Can ESDAC solve the on-site issues faced by fabricators? Example, truck movements, unloading issues, basic facilities, pressure from organizer and clients. Dhaval, can you please take it?
Very much. Thank you. Am I audible?
Yes, yes, you are. Yes, you are. Please.
Thank you very much, all the panelists and association for this initiative. First of all, actually, it is a team building exercise. Here, I would like to say that our team will play a crucial role in getting ourselves upgraded into the hierarchy of the stakeholders of the exhibitors or exhibitions, you can say. We people will, if we are very good in the numbers, we people will be in a position to be a party of one of the party into the exhibition. Right now, what is happening is exhibition is carried out by exhibitors, some association of the industry, or an organizer who actually organize the exhibition, and venue owners. We people are treated like we have to follow everything whatever they are providing us, or we have to take it as we are taken as a granted कि ये इन लोगों को दिया गया उनको उतने में करना होगा. Once our membership base will be increased, we will be a party in the negotiation with as
decision making negotiations. Yes,
right, with venues, with organizers. We will be a party and we will take on panelment on the venue sides. We will take on panelment on the organizer side. So those people will treat us as one of the party into the negotiation, and that will provide us the ease of use of the venue. Every venue has a good amount of freely available resources are there, but it is not utilized, because if one body asks, they will not allow, but if 50 body asks, they will allow us to do the same way. This is why if we act as a team, and if our membership base will be increased, we will act as a party, and ESDAC will definitely take a stand on that. That is my.
I see that there is a common answer to all these questions, but yeah. So there is thanks Mr. Dhaval. There is another question: how we can get back the security deposit already with the organizers, and what can be done to avoid paying security deposits? This was touched by Mr. Kailash before. I will go back to him again. How can we get back security?
Yeah, I got it. Am I audible?
Yes, you are.
See, existing security deposit which is lying with the organizer, even I am stuck up somewhere in Delhi, I'll just give it with an example what the organizer is telling me. Organizer is telling me कि आप जब stall बना रहे थे ना, तो exhibition start होने के बाद कुछ something fell down on the other person, so we are not going to give it back. So I don't know what happened, nothing, but this they told me after 20 days of the show. After 20 days when my office was following up with them. So we just said very nicely, okay, fine. CCTV tha, everything was, just send us the camera. You give us the customer name, we will contact them and we will check it out what exactly has happened. If you are right, it's fine. Okay,
Right.
we don't mind anything. Okay, इसलिए again I will come. Okay, this is just an example on a lighter note, but this is how things happen. And I'll tell you why this thing, why they said that, because I shouted on someone because in spite of my office calling up for 7 to 8 days, they were not responding के deposit का courier क्यों नहीं हुआ है. Then I shouted on them, and the next day some senior person called me and told me this. So it was more of a revenge that actually nothing had happened. Okay, this might be the cases. This is just a one-off case, and I'm just talking right now on a very lighter note. As of now, nothing. To be very honest and straight, किसी individual का deposit वहाँ है, the reasoning has to be given by the organizer. The most important thing is write a mail. Don't call up and ask. Write a mail. The reason why it is not given. Because writing a mail makes it more official, and even in the mails are accepted as written, written in even in the court of law. They are legal documents. Your written communication or whatever you put. Write a mail. In India, I have seen, हम लोग बहुत बार, including myself, we try to solve everything on phone. We have to shift from the phone to the communication mode. Let it be organizer or customers or whatever. As far as customers are concerned, signing the contract, lots of deals we are still making it as purana customer hai, okay, 2.25 lakh mein done. We don't even bother to send an official estimate, get it signed, get an approval. So all those systems we need to install. Organizers से भी वैसे ही deal करना पड़ेगा. Just write a simple name. Give me a reason, a reminder. We have not yet received the deposit. Give me the reason why we have not yet deposit. Reminder 1, 2, 3. Spread it in 7 days. Multiply by into 3 weeks. Three different mails. I'm too sure the response will come. Maybe not in the lockdown. I'm talking about post lockdown when things are normal. As of now, I don't think so, because everybody has an excuse कि lockdown है, कुछ नहीं होगा. There is no proper solution, but I think the only solution is better communication with the organizer. Via mails is the only solution as of now.
As of now, that's more about making things official, and so that there is a record of things and we can deal with it in a much efficient way.
Yeah.
Either by our law arm or any legal manner we can deal with, because everything would be in an official record manner.
But actually, problem is that our deposit sizes are so small that legal is not possible. But ye to always a written. Sword is mightier than word. Something words are mightier than sword. It's something like that. It has to be in written. That is for sure. आप verbally कितना भी झगड़ लो, कुछ नहीं होगा. एक letter लिखो, they are bound to give a response. That is the key.
और कोई इंडिविजुअल अगर लॉयर हायर करता है तो that is always expensive, and association करती है तो it is kind of a duty that we have to do and help each other.
Sure.
I'm getting one question from Mr. Alauddin Ansari. He says, sorry. One from Mr. Tarak Seth. Can our association issue an authorized accreditation labor as not only organizer, laborers are also taking us on ride? So, अभी तक तो मैंने ये फेस नहीं किया है, but I'm sure I'm not the benchmark of whether labor harasses us or no. But this question is, I think it can be a valid question. An authorized accreditation or labor ID, as not only organizers, labor are also asking us on taking us on ride.
Ashok, can I answer that?
Yeah, please.
I think post-COVID, it's going to be mandatory. If you've seen that these days people are asking for ID proof even to board the train, right? So I think post-COVID, it's going to be mandatory for laborers. I mean, obviously they've been asking for PAN cards and Aadhaar cards, but then it's really not been strictly enforced. But then I think going ahead, it's going to be mandatory that laborers should have some kind of an ID. And I think it's a good idea that that ID is an accredited association ID. Something like this already exists in the US, and I'm sure the association can take an initiative at the right time to issue accredited IDs to labor, to agencies, to everybody in the ecosystem.
So that is about to come. That will again become a new normal coming in recent future.
Yeah, because entry, if you see all over the world, entries are being automated, you know, be it for labor or be it even for exhibitor. And there is no registration queue. Everybody is being asked to register online through an app. And there are these automatic turnstiles where you come onto the exhibition venue on the day of the exhibition and you just swipe something or you flash something and you let entry, right? And I'm sure something like this will also be kind of implemented for the labor force too. So I think today or tomorrow we need to start thinking in this direction, for sure.
Time we have already stretched like half an hour, but it was all valuable, half an hour. If there is any further questions, then we can take up a couple of questions, or else we'll move, depending upon what is being typed and what am I getting here.
To answer that Ansari's questions, I would like to add on that.
Yeah, please.
Here he will get the contract copy. He have to sign the contract copy or the purchase order he have to take. Then only he can go to the legal action for that. And added to do my additional design topic, we need to start the practice of putting the watermark on the stall designs to avoid the passing the designs one to other agencies that I have missed out the covering up.
All right. So, so time is asking us to conclude this. Although we have a list of questions here, maybe some can be answered separately via mail. Now, all this thing comes down to we have to unite and strengthen the association. We have to tide over the situation and prepare for work after COVID. So thank you very much, panelists. Thank you very much, attendees. That's all, I guess. It was a nice session today. We will continue to have these kind of sessions and further more informative learning session in near future. Till the time, all the best and have a nice day ahead. Thank you.